What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video. So we recently got the part 2 of season 6 of Cobra Kai. I was super excited for this newest part in season 6 of Cobra Kai. I could not wait to watch it and check it out. I binge watched through it in one sitting, and I actually checked it out a second time a couple of days later. So I watched it twice already. So let's get into my thoughts about this part 2. And first off, I want to start off by saying what a shocking ending. That was such a shocking ending. I could not believe they went ahead and did that. You know, there was a lot of people out there saying how Cobra Kai feels like it doesn't have such high stakes, or it doesn't do enough to like really push it over the edge for some people. And I gotta say, with that shocking ending, I'm not gonna spoil what happens, but man, they really did it. They went for it, and I gotta say, I was completely shocked at the end of part 2 and what they did with it. That's an ending to where I honestly don't even know how you cap that off, or how you resolve that, how you go forward with that, with the continuing episodes, with the last part of part 3 having 5 episodes left. And you know, you have to conclude the series but also play into this part, you know, play with this ending. Like, how do you resolve this ending? Where do you go next for this story, especially with that way that it ended, and with you only have 5 episodes left in part 3 to finish everything, close out the series, close out this whole franchise and all that, and still conclude with that ending and resolve that ending. I don't know how they do it. You know, I do have some confidence that they could be able to pull off something by the end of this part 3, or you know, by the end of this next part, and be able to cap off and end the series pretty well. But I do not know where they go with this after this shocking ending. And I gotta say, with this part 2 of season 6 of Cobra Kai, it's a very interesting one. I still highly enjoy this season, or you know, I still highly enjoy Cobra Kai. I'll say these set of episodes for part 2 are definitely a lot stronger than the episodes that we got for part 1. Not to say that part 1 were bad episodes; they were still pretty good episodes that I enjoyed. But I gotta say, these are definitely some stronger episodes for part 2. They were able to, you know, we're fully pushed into the Sekai Takai and getting all those matchups, getting all those interesting events that are going on. You know, they have different events going on. It's not like your straightforward, you know, one-on-one sort of matches. You know, you get some different events going on, and y'all are able to see that in the trailer. If y'all already watched part 2 already, y'all already know what events are going on. But you also get some interesting matches between some characters, and it definitely gets some interesting action. It's still pretty great. You got great choreography and stunts going on in this part 2 of these episodes. So I enjoy for that factor right there, where Sekai Takai is actually pretty interesting. The things that are going on, you know, you got the whole revelation of Daniel still trying to figure out what's going on with Mr. Miyagi, like all the reveals and all that, dealing with Mr. Miyagi, and just you know, trying to solve that mystery. You know, trying to solve that mystery. That was one of the things I was kind of wondering about, and kind of interested in seeing where they take this whole reveals for the character of Mr. Miyagi. What new reveals will we get for the character? And you know, they gave us a couple more reveals. You know, I'm hoping in part 3 they're able to sort of resolve some character reveals, more character reveals. We could get more reveals. We could get, you know, something that will lead us back to the character of Mr. Miyagi that we all love and know. Like, I was slightly shocked and kind of taken aback with some of the reveals that they, you know, showed us of Mr. Miyagi, and the whole thing that was going on with him, you know, supposedly being in the Sekai Takai, and you know, getting those reveals. I was kind of taken aback with that, because it doesn't feel like the character with, you know, some of the things they revealed. And I'm just hoping for within part 3 they're able to, you know, get us back to that character that we know and love of Mr. Miyagi. You know, loop it back and give us a couple more reveals. What sort of happened after the whole incident of the Sekai Takai and all that, and be able to get us back to that character. Now, like I was saying, I still enjoy Cobra Kai series, and I enjoyed part 2 very much still. But I'm starting to see the cracks. You know, I'm starting to see some of the things that other people are talking about, to where this part 2 with this set of episodes, it does feel a little soap opera-y to me. You know, you have your soap opera, high school drama type of stuff going on still in this part 2, and you know, I kind of feel it. I see what some of the stuff is going on, and I get the feeling of how it feels like that high school drama, that soap opera type of drama going on. But I still enjoy watching it. I still enjoy watching these characters and seeing where these characters go, the stories they go on, the arc that they go through, and seeing these characters, how they develop further in the story. But like, I can see how, you know, it's still somewhat high school drama, soap opera drama kind of going on. And one of the things I was talking about before this newest season of season 6 came out, to where I feel like I love the character of Kreese. I love him as an antagonist. I love him as a villain and all that. I really do. But the way that they present this character of Kreese to where he's able to sort of, no pun intended, but snake his way into things, and you get that again with this part two, where some things happen and he's able to once again snake his way into some stuff, and it's just like I love the character, I love him as the villain, but it's just it's just kind of funny to me how he keeps snaking his way. He survives, he snakes his way into things, and he still keeps finding a way to put himself in the forefront as this villain. This part definitely was trying to, I guess, somewhat up the stakes a little bit, or push the limits a little bit. I will say that there was a lot of f bombs. I wasn't expecting that many f bombs to go on this part or this series, but they really went in for it with the f bombs. There was a lot of f bombs, more f bombs than I ever heard of any other parts in this season or this series really. And it was just funny hearing those f bombs, from the adults, even some of the kids were shouting out some f bombs in there. It was just kind of funny. And I gotta say, going into the last part, the final episode, the finale episode, and then the way that it led up to the finale episode and what happens eventually in the finale episode, at least, the first part of the finale episode leading into the back half of it, I was a little slightly underwhelmed with how it was playing out or how it was going. I was like that event, the big event that happens in the finale episode. And then, like, when it starts, I was like, oh, here we go. I don't know. I'm not quite feeling this. With this setup, I'm not quite feeling the way that's playing out right now. But the more that I got into it, the more I was seeing some of these matchups, some of these things that were going on. I kind of got into it more and more as it went on. And then, of course, with the shocking ending that we got to cap off and end off part two, that really, in the end, overall, for the most part, it capped it off as a overall good finale for me. But really talking about, thinking of the Sekai Taikai in general, I feel like this series could have ended off with season 5. The season 5, the way they were playing out and the way it ends, it could have, ended the series, at least for me. A majority of the character arcs and the story that we're going through kind of felt like it had a natural ending going on. And of course, we got introduced to the Sekai Taikai in season 5. Honestly, if they didn't introduce it in season 5 and we didn't have this season 5, I feel like it feels like a natural ending to the series and to the story that they're trying to tell and everything going on. All the character arcs, the character stories, the whole story wrapped up. It felt like season 5 could have naturally ended the series, but they kept going. Of course, I like that they did keep going because, like I said before, I still enjoy the series, even though some of the I see some of the cracks going on in this part 1 and part 2 so far, season 6. But I still highly enjoy it. I'm still looking forward to each episode and each newest part. I'm looking forward to part 3. Can't wait to check that out. And I'm pretty sure I will still enjoy it. But I just felt like a natural ending to this whole series could have been season 5. I just feel like this whole Sekai Taikai World Tournament going on, it just feels a little bit too much. It feels like it's extending past its natural point of ending. It just feels like it's kind of dragging the story out a little bit too much. It just feels like this doesn't keep in track with the whole Miyagiverse. It doesn't really keep in track with, having this whole setup of this whole world tournament and having this world tournament going on. Just doesn't really feel like it's part of the Miyagiverse still. The whole point of like the Karate Kid movies was how it felt self-contained within that whole small town style feel, the valley in California and all that. It just feels like with this Sekai Taikai world tournament going on, it just pushes those limits a little bit too much. It just feels like it's kind of dragging out the story a little bit too much. And in a way, it just kind of feels like it's going against the character of Mr. Miyagi. I know we're getting some of these reveals of, Mr. Miyagi. We're finding out that he was, in fact, in the Sekai Taikai. And it's interesting. I'll keep watching because I want to get those reveals. I want to see those, see what else they reveal, because I'm still kind of interested in seeing what else we're going to be able to find out about the character of Mr. Miyagi, or the other things we find out after what happened to Sekai Taikai when he was there. So I'm still looking forward to that and still kind of interested in that. But as far as the scale with the whole world tournament of the Sekai Taikai and all that, it just feels a little pushing the limit, kind of, to where it was small scale at first. Original movies are small scale. The first few seasons of basically Cobra Kai are small scale within this small city, the valley, wherever they're at in California. So, and going back to like the original movies, with the way that the Sekai Taikai tournament is going, where Daniel he feels like you feel like his heart is on the right place. He's doing a tournament. He's saying that he's doing a tournament because this is his swan song. He wants to pass on the teachings of Miyagi Do to the world, or to the future and all that. And his heart does come across as being like in the right place and all that stuff. But the the other side of that is like it's almost like this thing for glory. And if you think about it, you go back to like the original movies. The first original movie, it was never a thing about glory. The whole teachings of Miyagi Do, Mr. Miyagi teaching Daniel to begin with in the first original movie was always about having the confidence. He trained him so he could be able to have the confidence to stand up to a bully. And the tournament just happened to be just there. Just the caveat that he had to participate in the tournament to be able to build that confidence to stand up against a bully. And, he actually ends up winning the tournament and all. And that was just like an after effect of all the training that Mr. Miyagi was already doing to, instill this confidence within Daniel. And then it goes to like Karate Kid Part 3 to where Daniel is actually trying to enter the tournament again. But this standpoint to where it was like made potentially like for glory. He didn't do it because he was, facing any hardships or anything like that going on. He was like doing it because he was like trying to defend his title. He had to defend his title again and, do it out for glory. And that's why majority of the movie of Part 3, Mr. Miyagi didn't even train Daniel or was with Daniel for most of the part. That's why he steered towards Terry Silver to help him train. And, it wasn't until like the very ending or, close into the tournament to where Mr. Miyagi started to come back to the aid of Daniel because he needed to say, he was telling him, you have everything inside you, let it out and all that, and that's how he ended up winning the tournament again and all that. So at this scale with the Sekai Taikai, I just feel like it's kind of pushing the limits of the whole center of what Mr. Miyagi was teaching, the whole point of it, and the whole small scale of things, just going out into the world is pushing limits to it being outside in the world with this whole world tournament. And I just feel like it's just pushing it a little bit too much. I know it's probably sounding like I'm being a little cynical with this whole review of this part 2 of season 6 of Cobra Kai, but the fact is that for the most part overall, I still enjoyed part 2. Like, I'm still enjoying Cobra Kai. I'm still enjoying these characters and the stories and the arcs they're going through. I'm still enjoying all of it for the most part. It's just those little bits and pieces that, I'm starting to see the cracks in things. I'm starting to see those bits and pieces that are not entirely capturing what Miyagi Do and all the things are going wrong on with this, Sekai Taikai in the World Tournament that is pushing the limits a little bit. I'm seeing the cracks in the pieces here and there, developing and forming, but overall, I'm still enjoying what they're doing with this series and with the characters and everything like that. And I'm still looking forward to part 3. I'm excited about part 3 and seeing what else they are going to do to finish off and cap off this whole series, this whole story that they've been telling for the past couple of seasons. So I'm still excited and seeing what they're going to be able to do. I don't know exactly what they're going to be able to do. There's only 5 episodes left. And with the way that part 2 ended with the shocking turn of events that happened, I don't know how they conclude everything within 5 episodes or what they're going to do to cap off this whole story and this whole series overall. I'm still excited for it. I'm looking forward to it, but it's just a question of how they're going to be able to finish that. I just want this series to be able to end off on a high note to where we feel satisfied with the way they ended it, with the way they end things and all that. So I'm just looking forward to that, and hopefully they could be able to end off satisfyingly and being able to end off on a high note. That's all I'm looking forward to. But let me know down in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this newest part 2 of Cobra Kai Season 6? And did you enjoy it? What are your thoughts on it? But that's going to do all for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hopefully y'all have an awesome day. I'll see you on the next one.